Hi everyone, it's Lou here. A lot of people get very confused about termination orders, warrant of possessions, and evictions. Don't worry, if you don't understand it, a lot of agents in this industry don't either. So in this video, I am just going to clarify this terminology for you so you can actually put it into context. All right, so a termination order ends the lease, a warrant of possession enforces it. Okay, and an eviction is the action of that enforcement. Let's clear up how this process works and what part of the legislation applies to all of this. So you've gone to QCAT and you've sought an order for termination. You want your property back, right? The Residential Tenancies Act covers for a termination order as well as a warrant of possession. Now, these two often go hand in hand, but they serve very different legal purposes. A termination order is issued under Section 293 of the legislation. It is what QCAT grants or orders to officially end the tenancy on your investment property. It confirms that the lease is over, and from that termination date, the tenant no longer has a right to occupy your property. It is the legal ending of the tenancy agreement, but this is really critical. A termination order doesn't automatically remove the tenants so that the date's still there, but they won't leave. All right, it just ends the lease by law. And if the tenant doesn't want to leave and they don't leave, then they are in a situation where they are unlawfully occupying your property. And that's where the warrant of possession comes into play. The warrant of possession is issued under Section 355 of the legislation, and it authorizes the police to physically repossess the property on your behalf if they do not comply with the termination order. So if you escalate to this point, it gives the police the power to physically remove the people from your property, your tenants from your property, and they can use reasonable force if they need to. So this is how it completely plays out. So you have gone to court, right? The tenants haven't paid their rent. You've gone through the right process and you've gone to court for a termination order. On the day you are granted a termination order, all right, now you're going to get that via email. You and the tenants both get that order. That states the date that the tenants must be out of, okay, legally out of. Now the tenant is, by this stage, going to be waiting for the police anyway, right? They're going to wait until the 11th hour. That's where the majority of them do. So say the date has come and gone and the tenant hasn't moved out, then the police is going to need to execute the warrant of possession, meaning that they've gone to the property, they've issued the warrant with the tenant, they've identified the tenant is still in your property, they've served the tenant with the warrant, and they have a date to execute the eviction. All right, so on the eviction day, the police will be there, you should be there, and if you have a property manager agent representative, then obviously you all be there. Book a locksmith, because that is when the police will gain the property back. You don't need to do anything else. That is the task of the police. Once they say you can go into your property, that's when you go in. Now, if this has cleared it up for you, then please can you like, follow and share. I am going to try and build up a following, and once I hit enough followers, I will be able to do live online discussions to deal with all property management issues. And obviously QCAT being this particular series, we can go through everything QCAT that you need. Hopefully this will help other landlords as well if you share with them, and I look forward to seeing you in the next videos.